Run your hand down your forearm and look closely. Those faint hairs are the whole story because the idea that humans are the naked ape falls apart the moment you count them. Follicle for follicle, you carry about the same number as a chimpanzee, yet a chimp wears a thick coat while you look smooth. The fur never vanished, and where it went is one of evolution's strangest detective stories. Shedding that coat was one of the most dangerous bets our ancestors ever made. Fur is survival gear, blocking sun, cold, and ultraviolet radiation. Stripping it off on the open, sun-hammered savanna of equatorial Africa should have been lethal, so whatever we gained had to outweigh going bare in a place hot enough to cook us. And the clue for when this happened is not a fossil, since skin and hair rarely survive in the ground. Our sharpest clue is alive. It crawls. It lives in the most embarrassing place on your body, and its closest relative turned out to be riding on a gorilla. Keep that gorilla in mind. Textbooks get this wrong. We did not lose our hair at all. Under a microscope, human and chimp follicle density looks nearly identical because we kept every follicle and simply shrank the hairs into the fuzz on your arm. This was never deletion. It downgraded the hair while upgrading something hidden underneath. That hidden upgrade is a cooling system, and the numbers are wild. Your skin holds 2 to 4 million eccrine sweat glands, which on a brutal day flush out up to 12 liters of sweat, roughly 10 times the gland density of a chimpanzee. Our ancestors pulled off a passive fur blanket and bolted on an active water-cooled radiator. The danger was real. Roughly 2 million years ago, our genus, Homo, became a committed walker and runner across hot, open Africa, and endurance running emerged, a trick no ape cousin can match. With slow twitch muscle and cooling by sweat across bare skin, we unlocked persistence hunting, walking prey down under the noon sun until it overheats and we do not. The coat had to go so the radiator could work. But do not misread this as a free upgrade. Evolution is a brutal accountant, and it forced us to sign this contract in blood. By bolting on that radiator, we traded low-maintenance security for a terrifying dependency. A furry animal carries its safety with it, while we became walking water vampires, bound to find liters of fresh water every single day just to keep our brains from boiling. Run out of water on that ancient savanna, and your state-of-the-art cooling system did not just fail, it accelerated your death. We had our superweapon, but at the exact moment of triumph, the sun noticed we were naked, and it immediately started burning us alive. This is where genetics stamps a date on the story. The pigmentation gene MC1R saw its dark-producing variants sweep to fixation around 1.2 million years ago, right as the fur came off, because pale bare skin in that sunlight would have been a disaster. To put that in perspective, our ancestors roamed the planet completely bare, staring at their own dark, exposed skin for far longer than our entire modern species has even existed. Nakedness wasn't a passing phase. It was the permanent human condition. And that clock is not the only one we have, because the second one happens to be alive and crawling. Now, hold on. If you are sitting there thinking this was a neat linear march from hairy ape to sweaty runner, prepare to lose your footing, because the mainstream textbook version of our history hides a massive, disturbing blank space. To fill it, we have to look at the exact thing you have been waiting for since the start of this video. Time to crack open that parasite. Humans host two kinds of lice in two separate patches of hair, head lice on the scalp and pubic lice in the groin. And our pubic lice are not closest to our head lice. Their nearest relatives ride on gorillas. Those lineages split about 3.3 million years ago, long after humans and gorillas parted ways, so we caught it from gorillas later, likely from their abandoned nests. A parasite cannot colonize a niche that does not exist, so for pubic lice to claim their own patch, the bare skin between scalp and groin already had to be there. These lice are a living clock for our nakedness, the riddle from the opening hiding in your least dignified corner. The same trick dates clothing. Body lice live in clothing, not on skin, so their first appearance marks clothing's, around 170,000 years ago. Against fur loss at 1.2 million years, clothing is shockingly recent, invented more than 1 million years after our skin went bare. And the cool-down story alone is too tidy. The popular aquatic ape idea that a wading phase stripped our hair is pseudoscience. The fossils point to forests, not shorelines. A sturdier companion comes from Mark Pagel and Walter Bodmer. A naked ape carries fewer fleas, ticks, and lice. Heat, parasites, and probably mate choice all pulled together. One puzzle remains. If bearskin wins, the thick mop on your head looks like a contradiction until you realize it is still working. Scalp hair shields the brain, the one organ that cannot afford to overheat, and tightly curled hair does it best. The bald scalp is the exception, not the rule. So look at that fuzz one final time. It is not the absence of fur, it is the ghost of it, the leftover of a coat we gambled away in a bet that should have killed us and instead built us. We are not the naked ape. We are the ape that swapped its blanket for a radiator, darkened its skin to outlast the sun, and stayed bare for 1,000,000 years before it ever got dressed.